Moodle has really transformed my classroom because it allows me to do a few different things that I normally couldn't do in my class. For example, we get into a different topic that maybe some kids are struggling with, and normally, I have my 50-some minute period, and that's as far as I can get. However, Moodle gives me the power to differentiate the instruction, allow them to do the work at home. And that gives them as much time as they're willing to put into it, and my kids put into it. I have quite a few things I put on the Moodle site, such as practice tests, where they can take it multiple times over. The way I set it up is so that they go in, they have 20 questions related to the topic, they take it, and then they see their score. They don't know what the correct answers are yet, but they know what they got wrong. And then they have a half hour later where they can go back in and try it again. And they can do it again, and again, and again. And just every time they have to wait a half hour. The idea being is that they then take that time to study and learn about what they got wrong. I have kids who will do this 8, 9, 10 times sometimes. I also put on their forums because I am a big believer that collaboration amongst the students allows for learning. And it's hard to do sometimes in a large class when you only have 50-some minutes to work with them. However, with opening up a forum and posting some prompt questions, not only am I getting the kids collaborating, but they're also writing. And what I find is that they are answering each other's questions. They're from their peers, they're getting these responses, and they're improving on their writing and in their answers from what their peers have to comment on. From that, though, it translates into typically better test scores. I've gotten much better test scores from the students who do these on a regular basis, as well as I get much richer answers in my essay questions. That was probably one of the biggest pet peeves I used to have, was that students would give me the cookie cutter answer that Mr. Young told me, and I'd see it over and over and over on every test. Now I get very unique answers that are very specific to the students from their own constructed knowledge, and that really is what makes Moodle powerful for me.
Hi, I'm Tina Collins, and I teach 9th grade here at Euclid High School. I have physical science and honors biology students, and I've been using Moodle with both this year, more so with the honors than with physical science, but I really enjoy using it. It's very beneficial to both me and my students for multiple reasons. One, especially with the honors students, it really exposes them to a tool that they will probably be using in college. They can work on their assignments outside of class. We cut off deadlines at midnight, just like a college would. They can communicate and collaborate with each other. They create journals that only I can see. They also will post things on Moodle, or statements, justifications, and then other students comment on their work. So I enjoy that a lot. And I can also post instructional videos that they can watch at any time. And work papers, if they need like a copy of something, all that can also be displayed up there. So it's very, very useful in many, many different ways.
Moodle is something that I've incorporated into my classroom this year, and since using it, I can't really imagine having my class without it. It's a tool that I've used to help keep my students organized. They're easily able to access class notes online now. All of my homework is online, as well as my study guides. They also have a link to the online textbook so that all students have access to their textbook at all times. And I've used it to change some of the ways that I do things in my classroom. I have changed my bell work from something where students simply come into the classroom and write down a definition that I give to them, into bell work where they are going on the internet, looking for a definition themselves, paring it down to something that they can understand, and creating their own class glossary. This is something that has really helped them to understand the meaning of the words much better. I've also used Moodle to have students do a reflective journal at the end of the class period so that they're reflecting on what they have learned today, because I felt like a lot of students were never really thinking about the content of the class. And I use it as something that's easy to link to internet sites that the students can go to that I want them to see. They then come back and write a journal where they're writing about what they learned at that site. A final thing that I've used Moodle to help me with is to incorporate more class discussion. Oftentimes in the classroom when we're doing labs and different activities, we don't have a lot of time left over for discussion, but I can put that as a homework or an assignment that they have to do online as a forum so that they are talking to each other about the content of the class.
I got the program during the summer from the guy from Lakewood, and so that I was able to start playing with Moodle myself and setting things up. I got really excited. And now, as I'm using it in my classroom and watch my kids interact with it, I'm sold. I want to move where I'm doing everything in Moodle. I'm not interested in any of my old ways. These are different kids, and they react to me very differently, and my old stuff, in many ways, honestly, Pat, doesn't work. But as I adjust it for Moodle, and they're interacting with the Moodle, I just got to pose a question. Bam, they're out there looking for it. I don't have to give them where to go and how to do it. I just got to say, hey guys, here's the question. Now let's figure this out. And they're off and running. And I think that is the skill that they really need in college, is without any guidance to be able to get the information when they need it, rather than, and so our textbooks are nice once in a while. And so it's sort of a crutch, and some of the kids, you know, need the textbook. But I just see myself, in fact, I pulled out my curriculum study last night because I thought, you know what, I've been sticking to the textbook more than I've been sticking to the curriculum study. It's time I make a major switch.